So, welcome to the deep contemplative session. We'll continue from yesterday what we were talking. So, we were talking about occultism yesterday, all the paths that are talking about clairvoyance, chakra centers, etc., etc., etc. So, yesterday we discussed how Ramana is teaching. This is all Arunachala Tattva. So, we were discussing yesterday that everything is in your mind. And till it is the mind zone, all these paths belong to the mind, and your mind belongs to these kind of paths. बिकॉज इतना सोचना पड़ता है, इतना लॉजिक लगाना पड़ता है, इतना so much of work has to go on with your mind, intellect, body. So much of processing goes on. And here we are trying to understand that processing is your headache. जितना ज्यादा मन का यूज करेंगे इन सब विधियों का, the more you use your mind to get into all these kind of activities and concepts, the more you are troubling yourself. The sooner you understand this, the better. The delay you make, the more delay your journey. You'll keep playing with colors and lights and sounds and visions and things like that. And we understood that this is all mere entertainment. इसका कोई प्रभाव नहीं है, इसका कोई उपाय ये नहीं है, benefit नहीं है. There is no benefit from all these things. So again and again, in Arunachala Tattva, we are understanding this is all play of the mind and this is all spiritual entertainment. Entertainment is good, spiritual entertainment is good, so that you don't get lost. Maya इतना strong है, mind activities are so strong, the tendencies and vasanas and so-called karmas and all that stuff is so strong, your impulses, you need some entertainment. So the more the mala is there, impurities, the more entertainments you need. So these entertainments are designed by the Lord only to keep you active. Like Shiva says, I have only given these concepts. All this Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha, but he's calling that very clear concepts. I've given these concepts. But Parvati, it is not for you. You can discard it. Why Parvati doesn't need it? Because she has developed her intellect. She is now only interested in absorption with the Lord. परम तत्व के साथ एक होना है और कोई मकसद नहीं है. जिसका भी लक्ष्य वहां तक पहुंच जाता है, उनको अब मन की जरूरत नहीं है. जिनका लक्ष्य वहां तक नहीं पहुंचा है, उनको मन की जरूरत है. They need the mind. Because the world is entertainment and the mind looks for this entertainment. You need some device for this entertainment. So that's how the whole thing works. So we are talking about becoming mature. जितना mature, जितना जल्दी हो जाएंगे, उतना better. काम बहुत कम है उसके बाद. If you understand the whole thing, then the work is very less. Otherwise, too much of work. तपस्या बहुत है, साधना बहुत है. You have to torture yourself with all kind of sadhanas. That is also a torture. Because most of the time, these sadhanas are not very fascinating. Who likes to go through all these intense sadhanas? कौन जाता है? अब मजबूरी है इसलिए तो जाते हैं. निकलना है मुश्किलों से, इसलिए तो साधना करते हैं. निष्काम साधना थोड़ी हुई, वो सकाम हुआ. मुसीबत झंझट से छुटकारा पाने के लिए साधना पकड़ते हैं. गुरु को भी उसलिए तो पकड़ते हैं. गुरु को पकड़े, पद को पकड़े. Why do we catch? Because we want to get rid of our problems. That's not pure love. That is something with vested interest. तो इसके लिए इसका प्रभाव भी सब टेढ़ा मेढ़ा ही होता है. It's not from the highest sense. It is not from the deep longing to get rid of Maya, to get rid of the world, to get rid of Punarpi Janmam Punar. It's not coming from that angle. जब तक उस एंगल से नहीं आता, till it does not come from there, the mind will play and you'll need all kind of mind activities. But the day your longing comes from a deep sense of liberation. True, genuinely. ऐसा नहीं कि मुसीबत है इससे मुसीबत से निकलना है. ये these are all not mukti marga. Many come to the mukti marga to get mukt of their problems. They are not genuinely seeking to put an end to repeated birth cycles. Why they will not put? Because the life is very interesting. Now, because life is interesting, there are obstacles in it. Now, imagine if life is very interesting, Maya is very interesting, an obstacle comes, you will feel disappointed because life is interesting and obstacles have come. And you try to remove them again and again by all means, and you fail. When you fail, you get dejected. Then you say, I want to complete my liberation. So, all those who feel that they are seeking liberation because they are dejected from this world, because they are not able to enjoy samsara, liberation is suicide for them. मुक्ति आत्महत्या है उनके लिए. Mukti is escapism. So what we are talking here is a very heightened and sharp. कल किसी ने बताया ना sharp intellect. This is sharp intellect. कि उसमें भी जाके razor sharp. You can catch the flaw there also. Superficial flaws नहीं. To the end, to the core. Because surgery has to be done to the core level. Then only upaya. Then only you will get the benefits. Otherwise, it is all temporary. All these things are very, very temporary. So we have to understand, we have to question, we have to contemplate on what are we actually looking forward to when we say mukti, when we say Gyan Marga, when we say liberation. Is it mukti from the obstacles? Are we seeking mukti from the obstacles? Then that is not mukti, because the day your obstacles are removed, you will jump back into samsara. Everything is gone for a toss. फिर कुछ काम नहीं करता. And many of us do that. We keep doing that again and again. You can see we come to spirituality for some peace of mind. So thoda stability thoda aa gaya, you are lost, you are gone. Again, you are lost in Maya, illusion. Till another jerk comes, we will not remember the Guru, the God, the path, the teachings, meditation, dhyana, mukti. All this is useless when the world is giving you the fun. And world will not always give you the fun. Some or the other day, it will exhaust, expiry date है उसका. The day it expires, you have another question mark again. फिर आ गया. ऐसे करके ये cycle repeatedly चलता है. You need sharp awareness to see this cycle, which is not ending. So razor sharp awareness. For that we need authenticity. इसके लिए जब भी हम ये practice में आते हैं, मैं एक ही कहता हूँ. There is nothing else needed. Sincerity, honesty. खुद के साथ honest. Never lie to yourself. Lying to the world is the external manifestation of the internal manifestation. Those who keep lying, they definitely lie inside. They cannot understand it. So the first prerequisite, satya, it's truthfulness, honesty. ये नहीं है तो कुछ भी नहीं है. तो इसको प्रबल करना है. This is what is called a शुद्ध भाव. भावना शुद्ध है. The intention for whatever we do should be very शुद्ध. Because it is not necessary that if you come into spirituality, everything will get sorted. No, because spirituality में भी बहुत माया है. You can get easily caught, very, very easily caught. There are a lot of illusions inside this and a lot of obstacles inside this. In fact, I would say there are more challenges. The spiritual ego is the biggest challenge. मैंने अच्छे अच्छे योगियों को, अच्छे अच्छे टीचर्स को, अच्छे अच्छे मास्टर्स को फंसे हुए देखा है इसके अंदर। आई विल से दैट विदाउट हेजिटेशन। इट इज सो डेलिकेट दैट इवन यू कांट रियलाइज ये हो रहा है। इट्स सो डेलिकेट। टुडे आई वाज इन रामकृष्ण मिशन, वहां बैठा था मैं काफी देर। रामकृष्ण मिशन बहुत अच्छा लगता है मुझे। 2 R वाले आश्रम बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं, रामकृष्ण एंड रमण, दोनों में राम है। दे आई फाइंड आर द प्योरेस्ट आश्रम्स एज इन मॉडर्न डेज। प्रैक्टिस व्हाट यू प्रीच बोलते हैं ना, वो प्रीचिंग वहां पे दिखता है, एक्शन में दिखता है। सो आई वाज सिटिंग एंड आई वाज रीडिंग अबाउट स्वामी तुरानंदा। तुरानंदा वाज स्वामी अभेदानंदा, तुरानंदा, ब्रह्मानंदा, ये सब फर्स्ट फर्स्ट डिसाइपल्स है रामकृष्ण के। 12 डिसाइपल्स, वेरी प्योर डिसाइपल्स। यू कैन रीड देयर चरित्र। चरित्र अगर पढ़ना है, if you want to read the biography of saints, read these 12 saints biographies of Ramakrishna. You'll get it in Ramakrishna mission. You'll be very inspired, deeply motivated. ये इन लोगों को आप डायरेक्ट गुरु बना सकते हो, जिसके गुरु नहीं है और आपको बहुत अगर गुरु की तलब है। यू कैन कनेक्ट बिकॉज गुरु इज अ तत्व। दोज हु स्टिल फील गुरु होना है, गुरु नहीं होना है, वो आपके ऊपर निर्भर है। थर्ड पार्टी बोलने से नहीं होता। आपने एक थर्ड पार्टी को सुना बोलते हुए कि गुरु होना चाहिए, दूसरा थर्ड पार्टी को सुना गुरु नहीं होना चाहिए, इसी भेद में फंस जाओगे। आप देखो आपको क्या चाहिए। इफ यू वांट इट, हैव इट। इफ यू डू नॉट वांट इट, कनेक्ट टू योर इनर गुरु। क्योंकि आपके बाह्य गुरु क्या करने वाले हैं अंत में? उनकी कृपा से क्या होगा? आपको यही पता चलेगा कि भीतर ही गुरु है। तो भीतर पहले ही पता चल गया तो उसका मतलब गुरु कृपा हो गई। गुरु तत्व का कृपा इज देयर इफ यू हैव रियलाइज्ड द गुरु इज इन द इनर बीइंग एंड यू आर कनेक्टेड टू दैट इनर बीइंग, और आप कार्यरत हो। नहीं है, विवेक बहुत अभी शार्प नहीं हुआ है, मन दावाडोल करता है, तो बाहर गुरु पकड़ो। फिर सारे फिलोसफीज है। देयर आर थाउजेंड्स ऑफ फिलोसफीज। इसमें उलझे रहना है तो उलझे रहो। फिर कण कण में शिव को देखो, कण कण में गुरु को देखो, पेड़ में भी देखो, पौधे में भी देखो, इसमें भी देखो, उसमें भी देखो। You will get entangled in all these mind dramas. These are all concepts. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Here, when you come to Gyan Marga, there is only the knowledge of the self. The only requirement is you abide in the self. बाकी और कोई concepts आया, then you are not come till there. Then go and find a guru and stick with the guru. Guru नहीं मिल रहा, very difficult to get it today's time. Then read about great masters. Know to connect with the great masters, because जिसको इतना समझ आया कि गुरु इज नॉट द बॉडी, वो आराम से कनेक्ट कर लेता है गुरु तत्व के साथ। उनको अब माया की जरूरत नहीं है कि गुरु का शरीर ही चाहिए, कोई फिजिकल बॉडी ही चाहिए, कोई बोलने वाला ही चाहिए। इट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन वेयर योर एवोल्यूशन इज। एंड हियर आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग मोर टू दोज गाइज who are mad behind the bodies of gurus. I am talking to some people who are gone beyond it. I assume they have gone beyond it. नहीं है, उनका हमारा तालमेल नहीं होगा, फ्रीक्वेंसी जमेगा ही नहीं। हताश हो जाओगे आप मेरी बात सुन के, या विचलित हो जाओगे, या भय आएगा, संशय आएगा। All those things will be there. Until all these things are there, you cannot understand the higher tattvas. That is what Shiva is telling Parvati, right? Give up your fear and sit still here. Give up all your fear, all your doubts, and sit still. Nischala, then I'll give you the Brahma Tattva. So your bhaya, sanshaya, all these things should go. For that, you have to experiment, play around. Go to multiple paths, see hundreds of reels, hundreds of gurus, hundreds of books. सब पढ़ो, सब एक्सपेरिमेंट करो। जिस दिन समझ आएगा असली समझ आएगा, यू विल रिमेंबर व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग हियर। यहीं लौट आओगे इस चीज पे, इस तत्व पे ही लौट आएंगे। इट्स अपॉन अस हाउ मच टाइम पास वी वांट टू डू। तो हियर यू कैन सी रमना इज टेलिंग ओनली वन थिंग, जिसका टाइम पास खत्म हो गया, जिनका शोध खत्म हो गया, जिनका एक्सपेरिमेंट, ऑल दिस रनिंग अराउंड एवरीथिंग, everything is done now, they know it is the atman, and they have the capacity. You need to have the capacity to abide in the self. What is the capacity? Pure mind. Mind is full of concepts and beliefs and conditioning and philosophies and theories and teachings and this and that. You will not come to the state where you can abide in the self. Abiding in the self के लिए निश्चल मन. And what are we talking about? Concepts, all these plus beliefs and conditioning and teaching. ये सब चंचल मन है, मन को चंचल करता है. सोच के देखो, you think about any concept, your mind will start shaking, full of thoughts. Until you have thoughts, that's not a nischal mana. So when it is full of thought, it is called chanchal mana. That is called ashuddha mana. Ashuddha, I have told, is not impurities. Ashuddha means too much thoughts, unwanted. Unwanted thoughts क्या है? What are unwanted thoughts? Not dirty thoughts. Unwanted thought means anything that does not lead you to the self is unwanted thought. Ashuddha vidya hai wo. Anything that connects you to the self is called Shuddha Vidya. So any number of discussions you do in the spiritual terminology, कितना भी आप डिस्कशन करो, सब अशुद्ध विद्या है, क्योंकि आपको आत्मन के अलावा वो कहीं और भटका रहा है, और बाहर के तत्वों को ही खोजने को बोल रहा है मन. So it is not the purest of wisdom. तो निश्चल तत्व is very important. तो why I am telling all the cameras to be on. निश्चल है, कैमरा हिलता नहीं है ना, कैमरा स्टिल है, मतलब I assume that the person behind is still, कहीं बैठा हुआ है शांत. तो थोड़ी पार्टी वार्टी कर रहे हैं, कार में घूम रहे हैं, ट्रेन में घूम रहे हैं. They're not moving around. So I've told those who cannot put their camera on, don't join. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? वही देवी कालोत्तरा में जो कंडीशन है, सिट हियर निश्चला, फिर कुछ होगा. If you sit quietly, if you are committed to this, then it will happen. नहीं भैया, रात को ना बहुत बर्तन घिसना होता है और ये वो काम रहता है, some or the other thing is there. बर्तन घिसो, जो आपकी प्रायोरिटी वो करो. कोई ये नहीं बोल रहा है कि बर्तन मांजना छोड़ो. Who says don't wash your clothes, don't serve your husband food, don't watch television? Who's telling? Is that all these are priorities? Do that. Huh. Maybe once in a week you might find one day. Today I am able to sit. Huh? Then come and sit. It's a discipline to your mind. You know, you might not understand it. You discipline your mind. You can see when you're sitting with all these conditions, you are able to sit with, then only you are able to focus. Otherwise, how much of this mind is not इतना सादा मत समझो इसको. So this deep contemplative, razor sharp awareness, razor sharp awareness comes only when you make your mind still again and again and again. ये आदत डालना पड़ेगा आपको, बार बार मन को स्थिर करना, निश्चल करना. उसके बिना आप आगे नहीं जा सकते हो. Don't think by having too much of knowledge, by thinking too many things or listening to too much of discourses, you are going to get somewhere. No. If what you listen to does not give you shanti and nischalta, don't listen. I am telling you this clearly. Any tattva, any guru, any master, if you are listening and it makes your mind move, चलो ये करते हैं, चलो वो करते हैं, I would say it is useless. For me, it is useless. I don't listen to such talks. I listen to talks that can put me still, that can make me nischala. Please understand, this is the firm statement I'm telling. Any book you read, any guru you see, any satsang you see, anything you see, if it makes your mind more halchal, you can avoid it. It is useless for mumukshas. It's useless for people walking on the path of liberation. For the path of achievement, maybe it works. So if you're listening to some teachers or gurus who's telling you do this and this to attain this, ये प्राप्त कर सकते हो, वो प्राप्त कर सकते हो, एक अच्छा परिवार प्राप्त कर सकते हो, सुखी परिवार प्राप्त कर सकते हो, तो प्राप्ति अगर चाहिए तो listen to them. But if you are going beyond all that, then I would say your habits must change, because your habits makes you. If you are habituated to things that make you do, you are a chanchal person. Do means chanchala. Don't do is nischala. Now don't do का मतलब ये नहीं है कि काम धंधा छोड़ के बैठो. Please understand this very clearly. Don't do doesn't mean like a wall. Don't do simply means your mind is firm and still, but your body is going about doing whatever it has to do. Is that possible? Yes, it is possible. But ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? People argue. How it is going to be? I have to think. Then practice. Don't go for this quick remedies. कैसा possible है? As though I give you a pill and you eat it and it becomes possible. You have to experiment how it is possible. चंचल शरीर में निश्चल मन. You have to experiment. Means a still mind in a moving body. That is Buddha. So you have to train to become a Buddha. Buddha is moving, right? He is walking, but उनका मन स्थिर है. That is why he is calm. That is why he is connected. Body is moving, but he is lost. Look at Avadhutas. नित्यानंद को देखो, रमणा को देखो. Look at these people. स्वामी समर्थ को देखो. When they are walking, they look like in trance. As though they are not there only in this world. As though their body is walking. Their eyes is fixed. That is why they call as madmen. As though they are some in deep thoughts. As though they are not here only. What is happening? निश्चल मन है वो, चंचल शरीर में. That is what we got to learn. So it is not about not doing. Not doing मतलब ये नहीं कि शरीर को ये करके आप पद्मासन लगा के कहीं बैठ जाओ समाधि में. Or take the corner of the room and sit like, now I'm done here. What am I doing? I'm practicing Nischala Tattva. Our work here is not to wind up and become dead while we are alive. We are to become useful here to ourselves and to others. That is why we are on Bhuloka. Otherwise, why would you come into this active world? जहाँ activity है. Activity is world. Inactivity is beyond the world, beyond Maya. And we are talking about both tattva. Be inactive while active. Because we are all workers, right? We have got so many things we are doing in this world. You cannot give up actions, but you can give up the claim on actions. I am the doer. When you say I am the doer, you become very active. Mind is also active, you are also active. If you say I am not the doer, something is doing through me, then that doing will carry on. But that something is so still. That is what Krishna is explaining to Arjuna. Karma Yoga is that. Ramakrishna Mission talks all about Karma Yoga. They are all Karma Yogis. They are all moving in this world. They are doing a lot of activities. Vivekananda is the best example. Karma Yoga. I adore this man, Swami Vivekananda. You can see he was the best disciple of his guru. Look at this example. Best disciple of his guru. We all know that, right? He was the one who brought everything there. But then How many times have you heard Vivekananda bragging about his guru? All these dialogues about, hey, it's my guru who's doing it, guru does this, my guru's kripa, and all that. How many times do you hear Vivekananda talk about this? He simply went on doing it, his work. He understands it is kripa and all that, but what is the need of boasting all these things again and again? So when he does that, doesn't he become a disciple then? Is he not capable of becoming a disciple because he's not boasting about it, bragging about it all the time? It is the prime most important. For him, Guru Kripa is there. But his priority is not to sit bragging with that. His priority is to just go and do that work. His priority to just go and get it done. Whatever has to be done, just do it. Instead of sitting and blah, 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 all those things. So you can see he's just going and getting things done, but without the ownership of that he's doing. So he's a perfect example of bhakti and karma and bhakti. Ramakrishna Mission is very beautiful about all the four margas, very beautifully blended. It has lot of karma yoga, it has bhakti yoga, it is full devotional. You can see the devotion is too high in Ramakrishna Mission. And it is meditation. They give a lot of importance in meditation. And finally, it is Vedanta, Jnana. You can see their books and everything about Jnana. I believe that's a very complete kind of a structure.